Hey everybody. Alright, so back out here again. Got the trunk drop off there, trunk drop off for the other side. I got the wheel well, the inner wheel well that I need for this side. Haven't done anything with that inner tail pan yet, so I'm still trying to just like get everything kind of pieced in there. But if it looks like it's all going to fit relatively well, then I'll go ahead and start putting this back piece on. So, but anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start working on this and getting this stuff mocked up, and we'll go from there. So as I get a little bit done, I will keep turning this thing back on. We'll see in a few. Alright, so as you can see, I've been doing a little welding, cutting, grinding, drilling, you name it. I got the outer wheelhouse in there, not looking too bad. I got the trunk drop off here with a couple of clecos in it. It actually looks like it's fitting pretty good. The other side over here is a little bit off, but when I was taking the trunk and the drop-offs and all that, the trunk floor pan, I know I bent up that outer wheelhouse a little bit, so I'm going to wait until I get that outer wheelhouse out before I start trying to adjust this or do anything with it, because like I said, I know that's bent up right there, so that's not exactly where it's supposed to be, I can guarantee it. One thing I am a little puzzled about, this bracket here, when I took the inner and outer wheelhouses out, that was to the outside quarter panel side of the outer wheelhouse. I believe I've heard, possibly even read, I believe, that there, people have said it's supposed to be sandwiched, that this is supposed to be sandwiched in between the inner and the outer wheelhouses. So I don't know. I'm going to try to do a little research and see what I can come up with. I have a buddy that does a lot of first generation Camaro stuff. Probably just actually wind up giving him a call, because I'm sure he has the answer to it. So, but for right now, I'm going to leave that until I get a hold of him and find out where that wheelhouse goes. I do have a couple more welds I need to put in down along here, and probably put a couple more, I don't know, throughout here somewhere. I know I need a couple in here because it's not pulled in tight enough, so probably one down in here, same thing on the other side right here, and then just go ahead and finish up here. And like I said, I may put one here. Looks like it could be a little tighter, except there's one there already from that. But anyways, I'm going to keep moving forward on this. As soon as I get an answer on that wheelhouse, I'll go ahead and continue on that. But I will turn this thing back on as I get a little more work done. Thanks. Alright, so back out here working on the Camaro again. Got myself a little note so I don't forget to... Started taking that wheelhouse out. Got to drill a hole down at the bottom just as a reference point, and kind of threw a couple little things in here so that when I disconnect the hinge, hopefully it stays exactly where it's supposed to be. Got this other wheelhouse mounted in, and I did talk to my buddy. He said that yes, that roof support is supposed to go between the inner and the outer wheelhouse, so that is where it's going to go. And I got this one, used my little tack welder and did some plug welds. I like the tack weld better. I just couldn't get the jaws in around here, so I had to use plug welds. But for the most part, they look alright. I can clean them up a little bit more, maybe go over a few of them, but I'm not super concerned with it. So got that kind of together. Still need to put that rocker panel back into shape, and then of course put the outer wheelhouse in. But for right now, I'm going to head over to the other side and continue trying to get this outer wheelhouse the rest of the way out. That way I got another one ordered, probably be here in a few days or within a week, so I want to get this out and get everything prepped up. That way when it does show up, I can go ahead and put it in there. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on that, and when I get some stuff done, I'll turn this back on. Thanks. Okay, so I got the wheelhouse out. It's been a few days. Actually, the new wheelhouse actually showed up, and there it is. So I got it kind of prepped. Got this area kind of prepped up as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start fitting that thing in there and see how it looks. But once I get a little bit done, I'll turn this thing back on. Thanks. Hey everybody. Alright, so out here working on the Camaro again. Finally got word that my quarter panels are going to be shipping pretty quick here, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting this quarter panel off. I started taking this off a while back, I believe, the trunk, the little, where the weather stripping goes, so got that kind of apart. I'm just going to take the grinder, probably cut in here a little bit, and I don't know, something like that, just to get the basic shape and get the quarter panel to come loose, and then I'll go ahead and clean up the edges, get the last little bits and pieces off. But like I said, I got that one shipping in pretty quick here, so I just want to kind of sort of start prepping this a little bit. But anyways, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, and as I get some stuff done, I'll turn this thing back on. Thanks. Alright, so quarter panels have shown up. AMD, genuine restoration parts, GM. Did get that other panel off, that one that I was working on. Obviously a few days have passed. Let me go over there and show you what I've got accomplished on that panel. Alright, so obviously the panel is off. Started getting this, the trunk, I forget what they call it, but where the weather stripping goes, the new quarter panel will sit inside of here. It's a full quarter. I got the stuff out of here kind of cleaned up so I can start getting the spot welds out. I got the lead out over there, kind of cleaned up the drip rail a little bit, and I have started along the door on the inside here. Still didn't take the seats out, and I will, don't worry. Got that loose all through here, got that loosened up. Got this piece here loosened up. So I think once I get this drip rail out, that most of this will come out. I do have to take the striker out, a couple of spot welds there, and then many years ago when I did the quarter, I guess I just did the skin right here. So that's going to be a little tricky because it's going to be welded to this. So, but got that stuff there. Something I did find, which I hadn't noticed before, I guess when I did it in my youth, someone, for some reason, this is supposed to be the quarter panel where it's supposed to mat up to the rocker. But for some reason, we got this, I don't know, I'd call it 1/8 inch, probably, steel bar. I don't know exactly how far it goes, but for some reason, that was in there. I just went to test fit a little while ago that outer wheelhouse and couldn't quite figure out why I was having such a problem, and then I realized this bar was here, and as you see, the rocker is supposed to be cut away so the wheelhouse can tuck down in there. So this car's full of surprises. Almost makes me wish I just never started working on it. But anyway, so I am going to keep chugging along here. Like I said, getting some more spot welds out and get the rest of that. Got spot welds in here, I'm sure. Got to get those out so I can get this apart a little bit right here, and then that panel will be at least to where I can own, and like I said, this stuff here. So, but then it'll be kind of to the point where I can maybe sort of start trying to fit it and see what it's going to turn out like. So, but like I said, as I get some more done, I will turn this thing back on. Thanks. Alright, so out here working on the Camaro again. As you can see, I got the quarter panel out here. I did just kind of put a few screws in the outer wheelhouse just to kind of sort of get that somewhat located. I got the rest of the stuff cleaned off of here. Wound up taking this little guy off. Got the top cleaned up there. Got the door as well. And went to test fit the panel once, or actually twice already. And the where is it? Right here. The area that goes into the drip edge seems to be hanging me up a little bit, so kind of trim that up a little. And I had to tweak this just a tad, which I'm going to have to retweak once I get it in there for good. As well as this piece here, it was bent a little too far out, so I had to tweak that back in. Oh, and then so far down underneath here, I just had to bend it down a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this thing back in there again and see what we get this go round. So I'll turn it back on in just a minute. Alright, well, it's getting closer little by little. You can see here this is getting a little bit closer where it needs to be, but it needs to go forward more, which we'll get that lined up, which should hopefully get us a little closer up here. Got to make Swiss cheese out of that, getting all those things out, but we'll get that squared away too. This looks to be fitting not too bad so far. Well, actually it looks like it could be trimmed a little bit more. And then of course down here, that's not too bad. Where is it? There it is. That's not too terribly bad. I got a spot there I need to fix. I'm glad I'm looking at that. I forgot all about it. But here we're still too high, which I think once I get that back here to pick up, I think that'll tilt it enough that front will flop in there. Just trying to figure out where it's getting held up, and I think it's this guy right here. This is actually supposed to be inside of here underneath. Trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to be able to get that thing underneath here. At the same time, tuck that, get this, slide that forward. So, but it's getting there. It's getting a little bit better. Oh, and then the wheelhouse doesn't look too bad. Again, it's got to be pushed in, and we're getting a little contact here, but again I think once it tilts that should kind of get things, and it's fitting pretty good back here too. So, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing back off again and take another shot at it and see what we get, but I'll turn this back on when I get some more interesting stuff going. Thanks. Okay, so a couple more test fits have been done. We are getting closer. Just needs to go forward a little bit more, and then I should be able to push those two together. Rest of it here is looking pretty close to the original weld mark right there. And this is starting to line up right here. Not too bad. Still got to get this bottom in, but it is getting closer as well. If I push it in, it goes pretty much all the way in. Of course, since it's not connected anywhere, it pops that back loose. So just got to figure out where it is binding up and how come I'm not able to get that last little bit of forward. Once I can get that little bit of forward in there, like I said, I'll put a clamp and hold it there, probably hold it here, and then I can push that in on the bottom, hold that in with the clamp, and then this right here, same thing, just it's pretty much there. Just push that in, hold that with the clamp, then kind of see where we're at, and maybe put the deck lid back on and see how things are lining up. But probably a few more off and on, and a little bit of trimming here and trimming there, and seeing what's holding it up. But I'll turn this thing back on again. Thanks. Okay, so I've been chugging along on the Camaro here. I've had that quarter panel off. I couldn't even tell you how many times. If I had to guess, I'd say probably 20 plus. It's getting there little by little. One thing I kind of messed up on, as you can see, there's a gap here which I need to pull together. It does actually pull together, and this piece sits right there like that. But what I wish I didn't do was I chopped it right here on the original piece. It's supposed to overlap, I guess, and I couldn't get it to fit in there, so I just went and cut that piece out, with the thought being that when this is actually closed up, these two pieces will be together, and then once I take this out, I'll just wind up welding all along and get it back together. But anyways, that's besides the point right now. And the door here, it's off just a tad. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. Just a little bit. I mean, it's not bad. I may try to get it one more time to see if I can get it a little bit better. The door gap, it's not bad. It's tight at the bottom, but I realized my door is not 100% on. The rocker gap down here is rather large as opposed to in the front. It's about where I actually want it. So I may go ahead and work on that a little bit. I got this section here looking pretty decent. The rocker panel itself is a little boogered up. I'm going to do that now. Actually, I'm going to take the quarter panel back off and see if I can kind of straighten that out. I don't know, do something to it. Looks like there might be a few splits in the middle and stuff. Inner wheelhouse is in. Had a little issue there. Everything lined up perfect, and then I guess when I went to weld it, well, I don't guess, obviously it moved because it's not exactly where I had it, but all in all, not too bad. I think it'll work. This section back here, once you do that, it lines up with the trunk drop off, so that should be good. I got that clamped for now. I need to spot weld that onto the downside or the down leg of the drop off. But like I said, all in all, it is getting there. Probably take it off a few more times. Try to get it a little bit better. Need to still work on this rear pan here. Still got that gap, but I think a lot of that, honestly, with the pair of pliers. I got some pliers that are for spot welds, I think, or vice grips, I should say. I think once I squeeze that together, that'll probably work, and hopefully I can get it to line up just a little bit better prior to that anyways. So anyways, enough of me rambling on here, but I just wanted to turn this thing back on because I was getting some stuff done and not turning it on. So that's where it's at right now. As I get a little bit more, I'll turn it back on. Thanks.